quarterfinal. Map pool already housing some weaknesses for both squads. Punish picks instead of what you prefer. And we are into the pistol round of our first map. Nuke, this was OG's pick, trying to exploit a weakness within the G2 pool. And a top site fast take. Amanek's going to be flashed off. Hunter trying to help on Mini, now smoked off. And they should get a plant here.
The speed in which they've gone for this is nuts. The CT side's going to be left kind of going, okay, this is what you're bringing? All right, we got it. But they do have kits, they do have a little bit of util on the CT side and a 5v5 post plant. Not something you see every day, but they've heard that. Out they go and into the blender. Not too bad for the CTs. They're clearing it out step by step. And Nexa, what a swing there. That's 3 kills in the first round. Bye-bye, man 2. We've got the first one on the board.
Right, that's it, Chad. I'm getting the P2K out. I will no longer be using the USP.
Use it
See
one
what
evening.
Nexa's doing?
Yeah, that's fine. You're going to use it one evening and you're going to go back to that USP the next day.
Should we try it out today?
Yeah, we'll do a P2K set.
I will switch on to the P2K as well.
And then we just do the pistol round and
What's
leave.
up, Chad?
Okay,
no, it's play
fine.
games with us.
Yeah, I wonder why. All right, so...
You're a horrible boy.
Yes, it's true. Now, looking back at that pistol round, there was a little detail that I'm sure a lot of people at home missed. Jax had a smoke and a decoy. You could see Issa there under the ladder position. Jax threw the decoy. Issa looked at the ground. Issa was the first point of contact towards heaven. They retook the site. You don't often see the decoy fake flash come out and in play like that. And here, well, it was quite...
What?
Yeah, it was a big deal.
I love that. Hunter's dealing with Alexis. He tries to play around that close, squeaky smoke. And there's more where that came from. Good spray control from Amanek. We told you, capable SMG gamer. But at the moment, NBK hitting shots like that with his deagle. Kenny's lucky to be alive. I think the clip of the silo may just have kept the French AWPer heart beating. M4 in his hands for now. Bomb loose top site. That's Valda's responsibility. And he does have NBK in tow.
Oh, he's found a bit of room, hadn't he? He thought he had something. NBK, the shot he hit earlier is going to help out here if he really wants a shot at this. Jax on the prowl, though, not going to make it easy. NBK, can he predict it? No, he can't. Jax, well positioned, well played, and they shut it down again.
Now, we saw the other day when G2 took on Heroic, they actually dropped the map of Nuke. And what Heroic did was exploit the rotations of the CT side quite well. One of the ways they did that was the way that G2 traditionally approached this map. Ooh, MGK getting saucy. They like to send 2 up heaven, right? They send 2 up heaven to deal with the top site play. Now, if you're not denying that vent control, which is very difficult to do with how good the Ts have gotten at using utility, then you need to make sure that your rotations are more on point. And that wasn't the case with G2 the other day. They got made to look a little bit silly. I believe it was a 16-7 victory in the favor of Heroic. Heroic can continue to impress, but I think that G2 still, just with all of their experience as a roster, should be a little bit better on their CT side.
Now, I agree, G2 impressed, but what impressed me about Complexity before was their 4v5% conversion rate. You remember I brought it up yesterday? It was 45%. Tournament leading. Well, with the loss of Complexity, you'll never guess who's taken that 4v5%.
Heroic?
It's none other than G2.
Oh,
wow.
So G2, when they concede the early man disadvantage, hang on a second, maybe, just maybe, they can do more with this, but when they do lose that opening frag, they have a 41% conversion into a round win.
Just lost the M4, didn't they? That's a little bit sketchy. Kenny, they're trying to obviously help out Jax, but the M4 dropped over. Is there any armor? No, of course not. So just the pistols and the guns they've recovered.
No, Alexis actually duct taped the bomb to his body as a kind of quasi-Kevlar.
Smart.
Yes.
Maybe not.
It doesn't sound advisable.
No, I think that's actually probably a really bad idea.
Yeah, you might be onto something there, Lauren.
Next, though, you said the man is a bit nutty with the old SMG, and he's the one walking around. That's a freebie. That's the bomb. Got to expect the second close, but the shotgun doesn't quite get it. Nexa, yeah, he is quite good with that, isn't he? Any of them.
Double kill for him, puts him at 5. Nexa's starting off as he means to go on. 3 kills in the pistol, 2 in our third. Let's see how Jax was rounding this one out with a nice little 180 and finding the head of NBK. But it was Kenny who was actually eventually bested. It was just a barrage of P250s, all with their crosshairs trained on him. Nice little jump on that ledge. You're seeing a lot of players start to really exploit all of the little nuances in Counter-Strike movement, bouncing their heads off doorways to get their feet on the ground faster, more unpredictable for the crosshair of their adversary. We're into the first weapon round, Lauren, and already no squeaky door for the rest of this round.
Well, they're sticking on the freebie as well, aren't they? Hunter's on the SMG still got, I guess the shotgun's somewhat viable, I guess, on Jax, if you want to really commit to it, but maybe try and take it over a little.
This is what I'm talking about with Alexi. Look at him. In-game leader, entry fragging, taking space.
Timing's perfect for him, though. That's really set up by the play. Coming out through from HUD. Nexus in trouble. He gets the molly down, but by now he's dead. It's a 3v3, and uh-oh, Jax, can you find a range for this? The bomb is loose, so that does help. I guess you can kind of play around the fact they have to return. And apparently range is no problem for this thing.
Yeah, that was ambitious. I've got a good respect for Jax for committing to that in such a crucial game. Quarterfinals of ESL One Cologne 2020 online. We are into the nitty, and perhaps seeing Alexi B sweep this corner. Amanek in such a prime position to collect this frag. They know the bomb is on that top side. Clean find. Alexi, he's doing everything he can to win this round, and another $900 injected into Jack's account. He will go down. And now it's the big man Ting up against Kenny S, and a missed shot from Kenny. That's uncharacteristic.
Not what you want to be seeing, but still, Kenny's got a bit of time here. He's pushed up on that. Nice work from Kenny. Recovery after that first shot. Little mouse wiggle there just to prove that he was a little displeased with the first.
Now, the money is looking pretty good for G2 over here, but these first couple of rounds, especially against the low buys and the pistols, were still very, very costly. They've only had, 2 players survive in the second round, 3 survive in the third, and 1 here in the fourth. So on the CT side, we want to make sure more CTs are staying alive than that so you can build the bank. We know how difficult and costly it is. Oh, he's had a shave, old man, too. I think he made a tweet saying he wasn't going to shave until they won a major or something along those lines, but that's it could be a little bit far off.
Yeah, you'd end up looking like Gandalf.
Oh, well, he might get a big bushy beard by then, Lauren. I used to have a big beard. I thought maybe he could try and sport one. Probably when you dipped away and.
Who's the other? Havoc.
Yeah, Havoc
he had the real beard, right?
His beard was bigger than mine.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
what they were saying anyway.
I've heard it on the streets, in all the WhatsApp groups I'm in.
Round
in comparison.
Round 5 innuendo, ladies and gentlemen, here as we get back underway. 10 seconds left of freeze time. If I build the excitement,
it's working.
and you will all forget about it.
Yeah.
The buy will be coming on through from G2, and Kenny still has that AWP. 4 M4 A4s, none of the silenced M4 silly business. On the other side of things, there's been a Galil coming in, not a huge amount of utility. You can see there is a bunch of smokes, a couple of Molotovs to work with here, and a quicker pace towards Yarn. So Issa on the entry. Alexi B with space.
He's trying.
It's the third time in a row?
With 3 HP, that was enough. By getting himself down there, he can set himself up to stop that CT rotate being too vicious. By being in the vents already, he can swing into Jax, he can go decon, and at the moment, it looks like Jax is actually under a lot of pressure. Alexi's already in the sight, though. This is set for success for OG. And if Kenny doesn't find him fast, that's a great frag. Alexi, you say you lead from the front, and he's got 2 frags with only 7 HP. He's even trying to scavenge the AWP, and his greed gets the better of him. It's a deadly sin for a reason, and now perhaps a gap to get back in.
The timing could have been better then for Hunter, finding MBK, taking his time, getting away from the bomb after the plant. Another 3v3, what are we looking like here? Molly, a couple of flashes, a smoke or 2. That's not bad. It's a little bit to play with here. Get to clear some angles out for free, but time will be of the essence. Issa going to be kind of posted up against Nexa. Looks like the angle works better for Issa. Nice delivery, crisp and clean.
So, no smoke. Kit's present. Amanek needs to basically babysit. Now he's gone. No chance. Nice work. And that's OG's first. And I will give all the credit where it is due. That's Alexi B taking space at 7 HP.
You can see what I'm talking about in the pregame, right? The fact is, Alexi, as an in-game leader, is doing it in like a Carrigan-esque style. Remember, Train, Carrigan would run out main. He'd take all the gaps, find an opening kill. Alexi does it in a way that it's helping the pace of the team. It's like, well, once I have this territory, guys, I know what's free. Get yourself down here, and we're able to work this site with ease. 2 big kills on the lower, and it's forced G2 into, well, a force buy scenario. Kenny's been able to get out the big green, UMPs and Deagles. So not the most potent buys for the CT side here, but Kenny's forward.
Yeah, he can change the round on his own here. Has to play anti-flash. Now he's peeking into Issa, and it's an advantage again for OG. Spectacular start, good util usage. They're looking sharp today. And they are on the cross. Nexa with the sexiest Deagle and Counter-Strike, and not quite going to be seeing too much out of that one this round, I think.
But if I wasn't garbage with the Deagle, I'd love to buy it. But I look at it and I go, ooh, I really like that. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's like pearlescent.
Is
that it? Yeah, I'm trying to... Words are hard. Questioning my job as we speak. But I'm absolutely garbage with the Deagle. I watch these guys and I just think, God, if only a Nexa... MBK. It's a weird fight.
He is so grateful he bought a helmet there. That could have been an AWP save. Kenny's banging you out next round.
15, you're right. That could have been the difference, right?
My goodness. Yeah.
Eesh. Squeaky bum time.
It is. Wow. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that references that.
Where does that come from?
In betweeners.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. There it is. Makes
sense.
Squeaky
bum time.
Friends.
Bus wankers. OG above their heads and absolutely looking rather original on this T side. Catching out Kenny S. This is a big start, and let's not forget and discredit the fact that Alexi was also drawing blood at that point. Evening 9 lines up and lovely to double. Tapped into that corner. Catching Jax off guard.
Yeah, so Jax was actually the ramp player who rotated down to deal with the lower take in the previous. So as we have an eco right here, we might need to talk through what their options are. I think on a map like this, to deal with those rotations, Nexa might have to step up in a big way and really, look, if it's not part of their CT rotations, then it has to be free balling. And we've seen this G2 exact roster when they first came together have issues on Nuke. It's a communication-heavy map. Jax at this point, I think his English should be good enough that it's serviceable, more than serviceable. He's been doing this now for basically a year. But the rotations on this map, the CT side, that is the key, right? That's all you hear us talk about. Making sure that you're not exploited, you're not strung out, the Ts can't find the gaps. And the gap for G2 is very, very clear. When they lose that lower site, it just feels like they don't have the right avenue of approach to either shut it down or be able to get back in.
So let's play a game. I'm going to try and think about how other teams have approached losing lower. So here it comes, thinking. Now, we saw Na'Vi kind of start the meta of the underhand, jiggly, smoke, boomich play.
Yep.
Love that. Vents become an issue. Now, we have that Nitro corner. You just have one deady player who sits like CT Ven, or I call it, I heard Chaos call it Nitro. There's just, you know that open space where you're left eye into Squeaky?
Yes.
Always someone responsible for that to some extent. Maybe a top hut player, but primarily that jiggly boomich.
So it's all it's
Yeah, he just sits there for the whole round, and then when he hears steps, he just drops a smoke, runs back into the site, and they can rotate ramp safe.
It's where the other players are as well that is very important here, because if you lose yard control, let's say they do the standard secret wall smoke, and you have a player drop under, that's fine, right? He's dealing with under, but who's watching main? Who's watching warehouse? Who's watching ladder, right? Which player are you losing? Now, if Kenny's in flux all the time with the AWP moving around, won't have it this round. The question is, do they want him to be the guy to lock down that lower side of things? Do they want him to be more aggressive towards yard? I think G2's strength would come to taking the territory away that OG leave them.
You got really happy when they started just running lobby everywhere.
Precisely. Yeah. And I think that could be the key for them here. If they know the tells of the way that OG like to approach a lot of these gun rounds, take the heads-up duels. I know it's a disadvantage when you're walking into lobby. Have a couple of gimmicky moves. But this is the man right here in a Glaive-esque fashion who I think should be responsible for it. The big brain, the big fragger. Nexa still has 103 points of ADR, and we are 8 rounds into map number 1. But this is what I'm talking about. See, they're taking info. Jax has got info. He needs to be careful now.
I'd love it if you just press pause here. He's continuing to sweep. This is very, very huge in the grand scheme of things. He's called lobby clear.
Oh, that's
if he goes up the ladder, oh boy. Valda may not be expecting this. I think he was on the roof. Hi, bye. Jax has got the first blood. You wanted some aggression, Chad, and that's exactly what you get. And Kenny's got a good suspicion. He's got an inkling, and he takes the head off of one. There's more where that came from. Spots another. He'll flash for the repeak. 48 seconds. Looks like G2 are starting to dismantle this one.
This is gorgeous. They're just smothering them, surrounded. Kenny gets outdone by Issa there, but Jax found that room. He's still finding room. He's still going. Now, the bomb being left where it is going to maybe cost them a bit of time. Amanek, really nice hold on this man too. Tucked in. Does take Jax. So, for now, a 2v2. The bomb is back with the T's, though. So, Issa's got that in check. Mantu looking for anyone out of place. And at the moment, no one is. They've all kind of fallen back a little here, taken a step back and taken a breath. But for 18 seconds,
it's top side.
It's going to be, it's going to be a little tight here. And I think Hunter's getting a feeling for it. And Issa's going to be the first port of call. There goes the bomb now. Mantu, I think it's out of his reach here. The second player is simply going to play safe. Mantu.
Oh, they kill him after time. It's going to be
Beautiful.
So nasty. They're just baiting him. No time. Now Mantu needs to survive. He gets the first. And he lives to tell the tale. That could have been disastrous.
It's actually much better there that Mantu got that kill. Obviously, him going down would have sucked, but what I mean is the money situation for G2, Hunter losing his M4 is kind of a big deal, because going into this, they've only had one player survive. Their money isn't great. You can see the ring around the rosy here. Yeah, so right there, the fact that Mantu makes that frag, he gets to hold on to his AWP. Kenny can't get it in his hands. And on the other side of things for OG, they have enough money to buy. So OG have a really good opportunity right now to punish. The gun round that we're going to see coming through right now from G2 is probably going to be very low. UMPs again, maybe some more SMGs across the board. You can see an MP7 in the mix, a FAMAS for Kenny. And they might need to go aggressive again. You can't really sit back with these weapons. I know that a SMG close towards hut is good, but if OG string you out with their starts to rounds, the smokes, they take warehouse control, they try and walk around towards ladder, the fights change. It's not just as simple as them coming out squeaky or hard or coming towards ramp. You need to make sure that you're dictating how you want these weapons to be used. Yes, kit watch today. Ladies and gentlemen, there's one kit on the board, so Nexa will be wielding that bad boy.
The lesser spotted Ren kit.
Ooh, Jax, who wanted aggression. It's with the rifle. I wonder what the others are up to for now. It looks somewhat default, but Jax has been trying to press the issue. He was the one kind of making a couple of plays here and there, so this could be interesting. And once that smoke dissipates, he is in trouble. But for now, the molly goes further behind him, so he swings on it. Really nice intuition on the play, finding the right timing. Good flash outside. It's excellent flash. Nexa, you absolute MVP, setting up Jax for success, and he truly shines. What a moment for him. We wanted aggression, we wanted proactive play, and he has just taken the absolute crown of it.
Yeah, I mean, he had the only AK. He was the one that had to step up to the plate if they wanted to pick this one up convincingly, and it doesn't get more convincing than not a single point of damage inflicted. Jax has completely knocked OG for 6 here. And it does look like we're looking at 6-4-3 at the end of these 55 seconds. Poor old Valder's wondering what on earth he's supposed to do with this. He's sitting in lobby. A very frowny, furrowed brow from Jax. He's realized he had to step up and has done exactly that. Bomb was outside. There's absolutely no reason for them to get nervous. Valder can do whatever he wants. Amanek isn't necessarily holding that hut push, but I'm sure he'll be investigating.
I guess there's that time limit of your brain going, oh, okay,
Could
better
be.
check back in. There it is, right. It's that little bit of an internal clock. And I actually find that so incredible when these players are so good at keeping track of that.
Now, I want to show everybody teamwork. That's my favorite thing. Look at this pre-drawn arrow up near heaven, everybody.
Hey.
Does it make the dream
Nexa.
work?
It does. Now, look, Jax is actually overstaying his welcome in my book, but I wasn't aware that they was ready to help him. So he gets that first frag. Watch the flash from Nexa. Jump throw, lands. They are very blind. Have to tuck on in, and Jax there with his aim, getting 2 big frags. That's the round, ladies and gentlemen. So good stuff from Nexa and Jax.
And the nade. I didn't even see the nade coming out to help him on the last one, too. Gosh, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's lovely. It looked like he was on an island. It looks like he's overcommitted. He's got no smoke anymore, but yeah, one flashbang. We saw the power of that in multiple games yesterday. Really enjoying seeing the development and Counter-Strike continuing to have that reward system for the refined team play. Now, Kenny's been given the responsibility of the outside cross, and there is oodles of smoke, so the only chance for a fight cleanly here is going to be Mantu wide swinging or boosted on Issa's head.
How does Mantu win any of these? Oh, the timing. Are you kidding me? I don't know if you'd have seen the barrel. I don't think Mantu's actually that far out, but he's tucked in on a deeper angle. Stunning work from Kenny. But now he's under
Oh, the molly's whiffed.
It's a dream. It's a dream come true. Kenny gets to readjust, back away. Jax has his support, and now the T's are getting kind of torn asunder piece by piece. Another tag. Finally, he gets found, but by this point, there's not much left.
You say that, Lauren. With Alexi's fine. If Amanek goes down here, he's got Valder behind him. Okay, hands the first. If Alexi can trade, we're cooking. We're not. Throw that frying pan away. It's only Mantu. Does have a chance to pick himself up that bomb. He has got space, but from Mini, he tries to sweep his way in. Low HP on 1. Jax will be playing more passively here. Mantu's trying to find him and procedurally does. Another frag. Mantu, he's already got 1 clutch to his name in this series, and now, just 10 rounds in, he could find another here. 25 seconds. It looks like Nexus trying to find the window. Oh, he's presented his bottom. Nexus is going to see him. And that's a nasty way to lose the final of your 1v3, but it is 7-3.
Quite like what he did then, not picking up the bomb, and I think they knew the bomb was dropped there because the player in lockers saw it. He kind of went ahead of the time on what they expected. They were looking up towards heaven. What did you see, Chad?
There was a kid in the bottom left corner, and he was watching, and his dad's in the background hanging things up in the closet. I'm more interested in the fan cams half the time. There's so much going on there. There's pets, there's dolphins.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's a pet. There's flags.
Stunner sometimes.
Stunner's in there.
Spot him out, you're like, ah, there he is.
You can see what this has done to the money of OG. That was quick.
The molly, it's still burning!
Oh no, this could be disastrous. Not like this. Amanek can't believe his luck. They're all softened up, ready and raring to go. Through the molly. They were supposed to extinguish. A little flub there has cost them potentially the top site rush.
Oh, it
Nice
sounded
control.
like it went out, but I don't know.
Counter-Strike, it's not
Look,
the cruel mistress.
it can be. Alexi B, though, he did get the ramp opener at least, but look at the bombers. I mean, he's going to have to do something beyond my imagination to be able to work that out.
Here it is. It's sound cues, Lauren. I reckon he walks here, he breaks some glass. So now they have to... Oh, there is already a gap, so he could go unannounced. So he could get to vents or even secret without any noise, but he wants to try and make it clear.
Well, they know where he is now, so that's all right.
Okay, so they're lower, but we do have that bomb in our hands.
Come to us. We're up top. Oh, Kenny, hello, guys.
What are they?
Everybody,
What are they doing?
team.
What are they doing?
It's a G2 moment. It's a classic G2 moment, Alex.
No.
I'm melting down.
Oh, goodness. They've given him a way in. I don't know how. I don't know why, but they have. And now the Finn.
Do they not see the bomb?
They do. Oh, they do. But just throwing a nade at the doors, and now Kenny, he could get slapped here.
Oh, got timing.
Okay. Exhale.
Why?
8 for G2.
Lauren, you missed so
Explain it.
many G2 moments.
No, Chad, explain it. Explain it to me.
I don't
You're
know.
you're an analyst. This is your
I
job.
don't, Lauren, they've played games where they haven't defused the bomb, and they've played games where Kenny's gone to pick up the AWP instead of defusing, and then they lose the round. And then they've had other rounds where they've lost to a coach and a stand-in, and then they've had other tournaments where they've got 3-0'd in the grand final. Oh, I'm scared.
He's having a moment.
No, because that was almost a G2 moment.
Was almost, yeah, and
Wow.
unfortunately, G2 cannot afford to be letting those ones slip away. Their mental state fragile at times, looking great right now. And to be honest and to be frank, OG's mental state probably not that great after that first rush. Straight into the top site through the flames. Down to half before they even got to pull their weapon out. Should only do that in the privacy of your own home. Now then, a bit of a standoff here. I like the aggression, clearing into lobby, and oh, the timing couldn't be better. Great find. Hunter was unawares. Kenny's trying to fill the gap, and with great control, he does. A molly on the bomb to stop the retrieval. I love this from Kenny S.
Buys time for these two, right? Buys a couple more seconds, and they're not looking this way. Suddenly, there's going to be a red alert called, but Jax is there, and the man's just on point today. Man 2 last alive. We saw him earlier in the round. We know he ain't close to where everyone just died, so it's a bit of a play back in, but by now, 4 HP. Yes, he got a kill, but no sustain, no ability to live through a single bullet.
I'm glad that G2 and I think the same way. They've gone, well, we seem to get run around with these rotations, so instead of rotating to where they might go, why don't we just push to where they could be, and if they're not here, we'll flank them. It's great. I'm enjoying the aggression, and Jax has actually been a key part of this. Outside and yard, he's got it done, obviously pushing lobby. If Man2 gets a kill here, going up the ladder, I'll be very surprised. Kenny's going to see his little noggin popping up. Hello!
Kenny?
4x3.
Oh, he has been 4x3.
Holy shit. That's just...
Lauren, the swear jar today is going to be very full, okay?
Well, you know what?
We're putting 50 pence pieces in there now.
Yes, well, both of you today will have to be putting some money in.
Daddy
The
Chaddy
Queen's
in the
nose.
corner.
I'm meant to be the one who swears all the time, the colloquial Australian.
I'm sorry, I'm from London. Do you think
Yeah,
we're any
yeah,
better?
I guess.
You're just our criminal
Oh,
scum
hi.
we sent
We
off.
learnt from you, didn't we?
No, I mean...
Get him
that
out of
just-
here for stealing a loaf of bread. Send him to an island paradise. Idiot.
Yeah, we messed up, didn't we? We just put you in sun, sea,
They
sand.
just came back cocky and handsome. How
Yeah,
annoying.
they got tans and
Ugh.
nice hair.
Dicks.
Ugh.
Oh, there he is. There's another one. What happened?
Ah!
Damn it.
This is going to be gas money.
Yeah, this is the... We'll get home at least. So it's 9-3, folks. And at the moment, yeah, Lauren's making the right sound. She's looked over on the right-hand side of her screen, and she's got question marks popping up over her head.
Yeah.
3.5,
anime.
3.8, 3.5. It's gross. It's Deagle's armor. Okay, Issa with a little bit more investment. We do have enough for outside wall smokes. Looks like Alexi might be orientating himself for the typical L frame if he crouches.
They went back into spawn to see if they could buy some things last minute, so I'm not sure if the strat was a late call or
Oh,
not,
yeah,
but we
Hero
are
AK.
setting it up, so
Huh?
smokes will land. MBK, curious purchase here on him. Has that missed? Oh, it's just a little bit deeper. So there is a gap. He will be able to clear that. There's no CTs up close and personal, but this is Alexi B trying to sell the fake towards yard. Yeah, oh, that's the kill. MBK, huge stuff.
Well, that's why you put the AK in his hands, the natural-born killer. Quiet at times. It's in his instincts, and so is Kenny's flicks, but this time he has not been able to hit. They will descend to the lower side. Let's not forget this was the Achilles heel of the G2 defense. It's where OG found their rounds, and now they've lost their star. Valda, however, more than capable with that Desert Eagle. Multiple frags, multiple angles, and great shots. Amanek, good control, does bring the round back under contention, and it does look very much like double digits now. Alexi, admittedly, has the right weapon for the job, and they've got low HP. S3, 1 Deegs, potentially. Nice control, not making any audio cues.
Let's go, Alexi B. Died to Kenny here last time, bear in mind, when he somehow managed to pull all those weird rotations, but...
Oh, sound cue. So he's going to know, or at least be very aware, and take off the head. That's a fantastic start, Lauren. Bite your tongue. I think there's more.
I'm nervous. I'm getting a little scared, but time is ticking. 15 seconds. He's got a nade too. I forgot about that. He could try and clear out bomb site. Hunter's going to be forced to take another bit of damage. Alexi B, as soon as this bomb gets tickled, probably dead.
Go on!
Oh, God!
Oh, man, oh,
He
man.
snapped. He had that little snappy turn. Did you see it at the end? Just
There's a world
click.
where that smoke's enough to get behind the site. The bomb's down. He's Amanek charging. Okay. Whew. Thank you, Amanek. That's twice he's bailed G2 out.
There's good damage on this T side. They've actually done that quite a few rounds here, OG, is limiting G2's cash. So they will have enough to buy, but guns will have to be dropped across. And the fact that Amanek was able to scavenge this AWP on Alexi's body there in the last second is really, really big stuff. But it's not converting to rounds, so it's good to see Alexi keeping these threatening, but it's not adding anything to the board right now for OG, and limiting money, well, it's not going to matter after this round if they're not able to convert. So look at this, another low util round.
Oops.
Ooh, Molly hasn't gone far enough. They will make it down secret, rotating down as 2 players this time. Jax is there and Nexa.
Okay, so Nexa's definitely got the read that this is real. And he's got his teammate to back him up. So Jax playing anti-flash, and we'll hear the steps descending towards Decon's side. Alexi set up for the vent rotate.
Alexi B always seems such a dangerous little player, doesn't he? Just kind of ratting around the play. Kenny, you gonna do that? You gonna make me happy right there? Next up, Fudge of the Smoke. That's gonna be, I don't want to say easy, but it was a clean kill. But MBK on the trade, that's good work. But Jax is still towards control room. You can see these crossfires, these little setups, these little holds coming out, equated to big things. Nice work from Hunter, and these boys just retook that like champs.
So they're adjusting in game, right? They're realizing that when they lose the lower side, that's when OG look the most threatening. They're rotating more players down to deal with it now. The aggression they've been pushing over towards Squeaky Door. Jax obviously limiting things towards Yard. Now we're starting to see the full picture of G2 on the CT side here. And there was just so many players that they had to deal with. You can see that they weren't aware for 2 players in the window side, then players was peppering over from ramp. It was great from G2.
And I felt, you know, like I kind of learned something in that round, actually. The seeing Nexa and Jax not actually actively holding that fight together. They had Nexa doing his corner on his own, Jax just waiting in the window room. Because he knew if Hunter's dealing with Door, they're all looking at him, backs a turn, Jax gets the timing. It's all about winning the round. It's not about supporting your teammate in the most apparent way.
Sometimes you have to be magicians, you know, it's all misdirection.
Certainly, yeah. Smoke mirrors.
Mirrors, there it is. Let's remind ourselves as well, this was picked by OG. So, again, you got to keep that in mind. If G2 are coming in with 11 rounds, yes, they have been close, but the way it kind of goes down is G2 is still winning them. For now, bit of a 1-for-1 trade out. This is going to be tough for Kenny now.
Yeah, so he has to back away. The rotate. Wait, hang on.
It should have been
There
tough.
you go.
I looked at the mini-map and he killed someone. Great. All
It was
right.
like smoked up. Shouldn't get a kill.
Oh, this is a quick end to the 15th here. Amanek getting a lot of credit pointed his way from Kenny S, feeling like he's one of the most underrated players in the French scene, and understandably so. He certainly contributes buckets and spades for this squad, and Valda's given it a good go here. He's unfortunately being wall-banged and chipped away at. It will be a CZ crouch to pick up the 12th. My goodness, G2, 4 rounds left to pick up OG's map pick in this quarterfinal.
Introduce me, I'm the renegade. Every single night, I crave the taste. It's the adrenaline running through my gait. It gets me high, high, high. Got no time to waste. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth. I'm faster than you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in just faster than you. Just faster than you.
OG, my goodness, it's a more OMG for them on their map pick. Coach Rugger, he spoke to us just a few days ago talking about that game versus Sprout, suggesting that it was a shame they didn't get to show their T-side. Well, T-side Nuke this time falls flat. 3 rounds is all they could muster. That was a combination of post and muster, Chad, in case you were wondering. My brain just having a little fart there and slipping out into the real world. Still, we do have 4 players charging outside. It's going to be NBK's responsibility, looking to find his fellow countrymen and others, and he has done both. Hunter, Jax, gone. Opening frags for OG. Does favor them. No armor and dualies for Alexi B. It was designed for any potential hut shenanigans, but instead he's now playing on the other side of that smoke.
Well, that's a cool camera angle right there. The dualies, they might not really get a chance to work here, because if you take a look right now, the T's, they're waiting for this smoke. It forces Alexi B to drop back towards the bomb site. He's the only individual on the lower site here. If he gets overrun, now we get ourselves into a 3-on-3 situation. Alexi B will close the door, but he survived. So the 4-on-3 will remain.
Is Kenny thinking about going up, huh? He was in the vent.
Oh, if Nexa can get around to ladder here, which is open, he can actually clear off towards the vent, which means they can pop on up and then isolate the site. But this all comes down to whether Nexa or not can get up cleanly. He's cleared the base.
They're not in a rush here. Amanek and Kenny can chill here for a while, hold their headshots. Next is on his way. Okay, this is called lobby clear. Valda 2, but they can very quick respond to any presence top site.
This is a problem now. As they come up the vent, Nex is not going to see these guys on the site, and they might just get put in the blender.
Oh, that crossfire's sick. Valda can just watch the heaven peak. Issa's got main or mini. And 20 seconds. Oh, Nexa has been spotted. Does manage to land the goosh. And here they come up the ladder. If Amanek gets another one, perhaps. Yeah, forces Valda off. They're going to plant. And we have a round here, Lauren.
What a brilliant way to play that through. I love that. Giving enough time for the boys to get into lovely little positions. Exploit the CTs trying to control the map. And now, as the time begins to tick, the CTs have to clear back through. They know they're playing up against it now. Next, are up top. Sees Man2. Valda playing. And here we go. Kenny has to catch this cross. They're both low. One bullet would have done it. Nexa has come to help out. Support systems here. He dips down. He dips out. Kenny's low. Nexa has to keep this under control. Time is ticking, and Man2 takes his head. But time is of the essence, and he has none left.
Great shots. Unfortunately, nothing. Not even, I wouldn't even call that a consolation prize. Like, that's the equivalent of being, you know, you've entered into the village raffle, the fate, Lauren, and you know what you've got? You got the bloody selection box. There was bottles of wine. There was a massage for 2.
Was there a meat platter?
There was a meat platter, a charcuterie board, if you will. Yeah, charcuterie with some fromage. But unfortunately, you ended up walking away with some bloody bounties in your hand.
Oh, why'd you say bounties?
I like bounties.
No, me too, but everyone else hates them.
I'll have a bounty. But have you ever gone to a shop and bought a bounty?
I did.
Yeah, actively.
In Malta, just
I bought you like
back.
6 of them.
Yeah, you did.
You asked for 1.
Yeah.
They're your go-to chocolate.
I was like, Chad asked me to do something for him.
Not my go-to, but they have coconut in them. And, you know,
he's
sometimes...
from Australia and he likes tropical things.
No, sometimes I get a bit of a hankering for coconut.
Well, Jax has got a hankering for some frags. He's only going to get 1. That's not quite going to sate him, but it does seem his team are going to be happy to finish his meal for him. There it goes. Just Alexi B on this eco bash for 14. And unfortunately, this is where it does get quite difficult to start building a narrative that doesn't frame OG as getting slaughtered here. I do have an interesting stat, or I had it initially. You know that I was bringing up cool conversion rates? Well, interestingly, OG are, so there's 16 teams at ESL One Cologne. OG are 14th in the conversion of their 5v4s. So when they actually get the first kill, they are the 3rd worst in the tournament at converting them.
Wow.
No, I'm only allowed to say nice things about OG now.
That's a statistic, Chad.
I know, so that's why I've been too mean. I've been too mean, Lauren. So I'm trying not to be mean anymore. I'm just trying to be factual. And Alex,
spread those negative vibrations. Okay, cool. Everybody's happy, everybody's changing, and I don't feel the same. 14-3.
I don't want to do my death segment now, but having a look at the train track record for OG, they've lost their last 5 in a row. So that's also to teams like Pact.
Who?
Sprout, exactly. Sprout was one that they lost to in ESL One Cologne. They lost to NIP as well on train. So when you put all that into context right here, it could be pretty bleak knowing that G2 have picked this as a bit of a punish. They have a very low conversion rate after receiving the first death on a map like Train, 25%.
Yeah, not looking great, but a really potent start for the T's here, trying to fight through on ramp. The bomb dropping ahead is going to be hard to recover if they want to try and maybe back away, but I feel as though they're going to keep trying to run into this. The T's have kind of hit a bit of a brick wall, and that being Mantu, going to tuck himself in on that close right side.
Okay, Mantu. Next is the first challenge, and easy peasy. Lemons are squeezed, and OG find their 4th, breaking their silence on that CT side thanks to Mantu and his quad kill. So that's just the first CT round posted for OG. We'll see if they can string together a couple.
What do you think of Mantu, Lauren, from what you've seen? Obviously, you haven't heard too much about him because he's still one of the newer boys on the block, especially with the OG pickup. It was someone no one had really heard of in the realms of Tier 1 Counter-Strike.
Honestly, he seems fine. The problem is I saw him being out-orped by someone, but he outplayed him overall.
Yeah,
A-Core, which was kind of weird. I find it very hard to see how that works out. I'll come back to that in a sec, because speaking of him, he's about to get into the action. Underhand Flash is going to try and take the fight. Nice work towards Hunter. Oversteps on the second, tries to convert. Not going to happen.
MBK might go over the red here. Yeah, that should be at least a first. Quickly caught by Kenny, but he adjusts. He can even dig Nexa, and he does. Takes the head down to 13, not dead, but he's already got the zip and the body bag halfway up.
There's no one on the lower site right now for OG. G2 aren't aware of this. They don't know the rotations. They don't know what's come in, but there's a free bomb site, and it's just a few steps away. So as they freeze, as they wait, both teams unawares of how the rotations could be looking right now. Maybe nipping on back behind that smoke, tucking back towards lobby. They could be getting pushed. Next, they're having to be aware of that. Low on HP. They don't have a lot of utility to work with. 2 Molotovs. So as they go into the lower site, they could look to get window control. Molotov up towards that ramp position, but then they have to deal with the railings in the site, the dark spot. They could go to decon. Molotov the dark spot. Even more of a dangerous angle to come out, especially you're seeing more and more players play on top of the bomb spot silo thing.
Dream World, they walk up window, call it clear without making any sound cues, then make the door sound cue and throw both of their mollies at ramp and plant and get into nasty after plants. That requires them to be seeing all the information we can see.
Yes.
They don't obviously have that information, but in the dream world, we get pretty much this. Door will open, Molotov on one side of the ramp. He does isolate and go for a bit of a YOLO play here.
Good.
Safe plant. Nexa does
Nexa
have
has to make this. He has to make this kill.
If he gets himself tucked in, he is so vulnerable, though. He wants to get further. I love this. If he gets the close corner, that should be the one and done. Why is he hunting? That's why. Precision from the in-game leader of G2.
That's obscene that he just got to pull that off. And it's just got half of the map for them. The retake now comes in from the same side. He saves the molly. And now look at that. Chunks of damage. They're going to hear that, surely. Amanek's going to hear everything going on here. And Amanek goes for the second kill. That's Valde. Issa is further up. And did they work that out? I think they've connected the dots. Beautifully played between the two. Amanek and Nexa just combined wonderfully.
That Nexa play, he had to go for that, right? He was on low HP. It's a massive risk. It's a huge risk. The fact that the CT could already be posted up there, the fact that OG gave them so much room. Oh dear, if Nexa doesn't make, this is how it started. You know, the round felt like it was over immediately. MBK doing that damage. He even got the dink onto Nexa.
I mean, conversion stats, you were talking about it. Those opening kills all looked so good for the CT side. We're sitting there like, oh, they've got it, right? Controlling outside, the dink, everything. I'm like, there we go. Apparently not.
OG lose 35% of the rounds where they get the opening kill.
That's a crazy number.
On average, in my experience, that number usually floats around 80, 77.
Yeah, it's a high number.
It's a high number.
Just to note as well, Valde with only 5 kills to his name. Coming into today, he was in the top 5 highest rated players of ESL One Cologne for the European side of things. Actually 4th, locked in at 4th. They're just under Device, with Nexa coming in as number 1, Poison number 2, Device number 3, and then, yeah, it was Valde in that 4th spot. So the fact that he isn't showing up here today is one of the key pieces, one of the key riflers for OG on a map where, well, you need him to do some grunt work. He needs to show up now, and it's the last-ditch attempt here. 2 M4s, 3 MP9s, a little bit of utility, no kit in play, and the timeout from G2. Let's see what kind of attack they want to go for here. You want to close this out as quickly as you can. Do not allow the OG players to start warming into this game. Take it away from them. This is their choice.
Okay, so they will just go for a default spread. Everything held at the moment. No CT aggression would go unchecked. If you've ever wondered what your teammates are shouting about when they say default, this is it. Have a look. Choose a spot you like. Wait it out. CT utilities minimal. Any chance to not have an incendiary for their retake and not have a smoke for the defuse is all beneficial. So let's rock that clock a little bit. And you can see already they're trying to draw some smokes out, Molotovs out with their own. Ooh, MBK can't really contest that. A lot of space given to them in yard, and it is going to be 4 unchecked descending down secret.
Hunter leading the way as well. This
2 CTs have rotated, Lauren. They are
they're
well and
reading
truly
into it.
ready for this.
That's going to buy them until roughly 30-ish seconds with that smoke coming on in there. So make it 27. So they're going to have to stall this out, and it looks like it will need to be the lower hit, considering all 4 are postured in that secret position. They need to be quick with this, and that means they might overlook a couple of corners.
An attempt to fake something. Maybe enable his teammate to cross a little later, but Mantu with only the MP9. He hasn't crossed the first. Yeah, MBK's going to have to get his shot and hit it cleanly. That flash was great, but Valdez there. And now they're running out of time, running out of players. Looks like we are going to be seeing OG find a spotless round on this CT descent. Not quite as spotless as it could have been. Kenny looking to survive, won't do that. Okay, Lexi will happily collect himself 600 kill reward and maybe even upgrade his weapon. Does manage to do so just in the nick of time. Wasn't necessarily a Lexi, but we got another rifle flowing. But 15-5, it is. This is the kind of maths I can do. That's 10 map points for G2.
A lot, isn't it?
Damn.
That's double digits.
That was
map
quick
points.
maths
You see
as
that?
well, Alex.
Without even stuttering or hesitating.
Didn't even have to use the abacus today.
Oh, I'll keep that one down here.
So G2, after the timeout, opted to go for a very slow play, understandably. I think you highlighted a lot of the key points there very well, Alex. Take away the CT-sided utility. They're desperate. They have to take risk. They have to push forward. Well, it didn't go that way, did it? OG dropped a perfectly timed smoke, and that stalled them out, which has forced G2 to deagles. But if there's one thing every single player on this G2 side can use, it is the deagle. And Kenny S, he wields it like an AWP. Never mind. Mantu using the AK like an AWP, decapitating a few, and, well, there's a third.
Just pad those stats out nicely. Look at that. Everyone else gonna get Jax perhaps had to give him the ace. I mean, it's just for his career stats, you know. There's nothing else, Alexi. Stop hunting. Why, guys, give it to the poor guy. What, Alexi, you naughty boy.
Horrible.
How dare you?
Well, he should have had that deagle blown away as punishment, but he was able to pick it up. So now, the money not great on the G2 Esports side of things. It should just be another partial buy. You can see Hunter's already bought into the Tech 9. Kenny with a deagle, Jax with a deagle, Amanek yet to buy anything. He might go for a Mac 10, be a little bit naughty. Amanek 10. Ha, ha, ha. If you have a look at Amanek's stats, actually, you can see that I think it's in his top 5 weapons used is the Mac 10. I want to double check that one just to be certain, but I'm pretty sure that was the case when I was doing my prep in my holidays.
Sorry, I'll come back to that. Someone just tweeted me the lineup for the Vertigo nade I keep talking about.
I saw it.
It's
Nice. Vitality max.
Okay,
Respect,
so-
bro. Appreciate you.
first go tonight.
Yeah. I'm
Add
just going to
one
do that
play.
6 rounds in a row.
Oh, hold on. Jack's just got a freebie towards Mantu. Not completely free, but you're going to take it in these scenarios. Bombs now made it down. That's... Kenny? Kenny, what? The 2 1Ds coming up. Kenny's
Oh,
on 3.
no.
That's how it ends, is it?
Oh,